Thank you, Keith, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This morning, you have heard about different issues and visions for Scotland's economy after the referendum. I welcome this opportunity to participate and to summarise for you why I believe that Scotland's economy will prosper more by us remaining part of a strong United Kingdom. During my career, I've worked in partnership with governments and economic development bodies of all colours and political persuasion to help large and small businesses in Scotland, to improve Scotland's competitiveness as a business location, to promote Scotland internationally, and to attract overseas investment to Scotland. It is this experience that has led me to conclude that breaking the UK apart would be bad for all concerned, particularly us in Scotland. I've reached my decision not on the basis of allegiance to some ideal, but because I believe that staying strong together offers us the greatest opportunity to grow Scotland's economy for the long term. The nationalists assert that Scotland would gain freedom to act in its own interests by going it alone, and that independence is the only model that would deliver that. I disagree. By leaving the UK, we would lose far more than we would gain. I don't need to explain to this audience why our international competitiveness as an investment location is so important to all who live and work here. The scale, strength, and stability of the United Kingdom adds significant advantage to Scotland's competitiveness. As part of the UK, Scotland is part of a highly integrated, highly successful market that allows for the free movement of people, goods, services, and capital. We face no barriers to trade, we share knowledge and resources, we have a respected regulatory regime, we have a globally trusted single currency, and we are a powerful influence in Europe as a member of the EU. We can access directly the huge infrastructure and resources that exist in the UK to support businesses, such as our network of embassies around the world and the UK's universities and research institutions, with which our collaboration has yielded so many benefits for Scotland. Putting a permanent barrier between Scotland and the rest of the UK, our main market, would break up that integrated market and add significantly to the cost and complexity of servicing it from Scotland. Indeed, we know now that some major companies, despite what Ewan says, headquartered in Scotland, would have to relocate headquarters to their main market, England, so as to meet EU regulatory requirements. It's a fact. Of course, any loss of headquarters of strategic activity in Scotland would have an impact on the high-value supply chain based here and the people based here to which Ewan refers that services it. Inevitably, supply companies would have to relocate too. By being part of the United Kingdom, Scotland's businesses and professional infrastructure is significantly enhanced. Its international accessibility is greater, and it is directly connected with a global hub that is the City of London. Take the financial services industry, which has been an important part of my life recently and forms an important part of my business. It's so important to the economic growth in Scotland, and it will be so in the future. Much recent investment in Scotland has come here because we are so close to the City of London and have a single regulator and currency. Many international companies, I think particularly of the American banks, have made Scotland an important strategic hub because of all the factors that I have mentioned. We have developed an Indigenous skill base in Scotland to rival any around the world, but that would not have been fully possible, and nor would we have attracted such corporate investment had there been a barrier between us and the rest of the UK. The referendum, regardless of the outcome, has introduced a question mark over Scotland and its competitiveness. As everyone here knows, to make investment decisions, companies need certainty and to be able to weigh up risk. It's very simple. Locations that offer less certainty than other locations are deemed to be less competitive by comparison and so less attractive for investment for the long term. If Scotland was to leave the United Kingdom, there would be no guarantees of what our monetary, fiscal and regulatory arrangements would be, or whether we could be part of the EU, and if we were, on what terms. There are, of course, also no guarantees of what the political and policy regime would be in Scotland. And, of course, it would be blinkered, I think, indeed arrogant, to think that these are just Scottish issues, since there are no guarantees of what the impact on the rest of the UK and our many customers, employees, family and friends based there would be either. For international companies, the referendum has increased the risk of investing in Scotland, and investment decisions for the medium and long term are being taken now. Now, these issues are relevant to every sector that is subject to global competition and to the supply companies that service them, as I have said. I am, always have been, and always will be aspirational about Scotland, bold of vision, and I want us to aim high. Scotland's competition for investment, as you know, is global. As with any business, we need to secure the strongest platform for growth for the long term. It is not enough to rely on the goodwill of what would become a separate country neighbour, England, Wales and Northern Ireland, comprising the rest of the UK, and its government, central bank and regulator, as Mr. Salmons suggests. Market divergence is likely to occur over time. Look at the examples of Canada and the US, and Northern Ireland and the Irish Republic. The benefits of the UK are tangible and known. Independence is a gamble, which would come at a high cost for start-up and borrowing, as John Swinney has recently acknowledged. I, for one, am not prepared to gamble Scotland's future on a noble cause, as I understand Alex Salmond has described independence. I want us to build on a strong foundation, and that foundation is the one we've had for over 300 years, and from which we've achieved so many successes that we all promote, the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom gives us common regulation, a strong and stable currency, growing export and investment opportunities, a unified labour market, and many other benefits besides that are the envy of the rest of the world. Let's not divorce ourselves from it. We can have the best of both worlds for Scotland. We can have a strong Scottish Parliament with the guarantee of more powers for Scotland, backed up by the strength, security and stability of being part of the larger United Kingdom. Separation puts that at risk, which is why we should say no thanks in September. Thank you.